Question 1. What do you enjoy outside of university? Before the pandemic, I enjoyed skiing, and I very much look forward to getting back to the mountains, as this has not been possible for the last 2 years. In lockdown, I took up running, and I've run regularly over the last 3 months. In the winter, it's a bit more difficult. However, hopefully I'll increase my mileage as the summer goes on. I enjoy any and all sports, particularly football, although unfortunately I have to follow Arsenal, so at the moment that's become less enjoyable. And I like reading as well. I recently read a lot of non-fiction books, including Daniel Coyle's The Culture Code, which is about how successful teams operate and maintain their consistency. And I also read The Power Broker by Robert Caro, which goes through the 40-year domination of New York politics by Robert Moses and his triumphs and controversies. As boring as it sounds, I also really enjoy my work at M&S. It's fast-paced, it's methodical, and it's always entertaining. Question 2. Can you tell me about a time when you solved a problem for your employer? In 2019, after 6 months working for M&S, I identified that they were wasting millions of pounds worth of time by paying staff to check for the expiry dates of products that weren't expiring. When a food manufacturer creates a product, they know what date it will go out of date. However, this information is not passed along the supply chain, so by the time the product reaches the stores have no record of when products go out of date. The only way is to check the package on the shelf. As a result, staff are paid every morning to go around and check every product is safe to sell, even though only 5% may need reducing or removing from sale. Therefore, the time taken to check 95% of the products is wasted. If the information of when products go out of date was passed along the supply chain by being embedded in the barcode, then 95% of the time spent each morning would be saved. So I wrote an email to the managing director of M&S Food, Stuart Machin, and suggested this. And as a result, I was invited to head office to spend time with their retail operations team. I wrote a 1,600-word proposal, which I took with me and presented to them. And unfortunately, at the time, the business wasn't in a position to implement such a massive logistical change. However, just last week, so 2 years on, the first steps of this program went live in stores. So now we can differentiate between different trays of the same product based on their expiry date, as it's embedded in the barcodes on the trays. And finally, question 3. How would you deal with a situation if you ran out of stock? So this is a problem that we regularly come across in retail. Firstly, you have to make sure that the stock file is accurate and that you definitely do not have the product. Next, you need to find out what the reason is for the delay. For example, is it just simply a lorry was too late to a depot, or is it going to be that there's a supplier problem and it's going to be weeks? If it's just going to be a quick, maybe a day, then you may just expand out the neighbouring products to fill the space so that there's no gap on the shelf. You sell the stock you do have, but you don't affect the space, range and display setup of the store. However, if you find out that there is a supply problem and the product's going to be out of stock for a long time, you need to find an alternative product that you can display. If you don't have any, perhaps contact your distribution centre to have some allocated so that you can fill the space in the meantime and maximise sales for the customer.